3 points turned into 1 point. How do you make of the decision at the end there, and how do you feel like your team played?
I thought the team played well. I knew I had some concerns once our centre back got injured, you know, because I knew that at that time of the game you don't want to lose a centre back, and they're a big team, and we were dealing with them fairly well. But the entire game came down to a game of set plays. All 4 goals were from set plays, and you know, I think we had an opportunity to take the ball to the corner flag, but young player, you know, a little enthusiastic, but the leadership on the field should have guided him better, because he can't hear us from the bench. So yeah, I mean, and then we got caught on the wrong side of Musi, had to foul, and they got the goal. I think it came off his back actually. I don't think he headed it, but yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, one more.
Salter continues to perform. What did you make of his performance today?
Good balanced performance. Him, Akim, Corey, you know, the front line, they did well. They put them under pressure, and Salter in particular looked very strong right till the end of the game.
And Carlos, go ahead.
Hi, Steven. Policy got into the match, like he got a solid game. Also, Akeem is the 3rd goal he scored. I just want to know what's your take on that. My second question to you, following that, is like, what's your take on the officiating tonight? I know it's kind of like a tricky question.
Okay, I'll answer that backwards. The officiating is not in my control. It's a difficult job, and you can only call what you see. But yeah. Other than that, I thought Akim took his goal well. It was difficult to take. He took it well. And what was the first part of the question?
Mateo had a solid.
Yeah, Mateo came in. Corey was spent, and Mateo came in and gave us some, you know, balance once again, just to sort of freshen up the midfield part. And I'm glad for him.
Hey Stephen, so how happy are you that we're seeing people step up from the loss of Joe? Like, we've seen Salter had a really good game, and Akeem looks like he's getting back to his best. How happy are you that we're seeing people fill the void?
Yeah, I mean, it's important. You can only deal with the players that are available to you, and those players have, you know, they're taking on the challenge. All they have to do is remember these moments and keep pushing, and I think the goals will come, because we're getting into some good positions. You know, we had corners and free kicks, and we had those sort of half opportunities. But I'm glad that they are coming up with goals, because you know, the goals need to be distributed right across the attack, not just dependent on one person.
We're going to send things over to Zoom page if there's any hands up for that.
Yeah, we can start with Mitchell. Go ahead.
Hey, Stephen. I wanted to talk about your young fullback in particular. I thought they did a very good job of limiting you know, Cavalry's danger out wide. Your thoughts on, I guess, the team's defensive performance in general, other than those set pieces? I think they, by and large, were able to limit chances.
Yeah, I mean, our pre-game discussion was about trying to limit the set pieces, because we know they're a big team. They're a big team. They're well organized on the set pieces. But yeah, the fullbacks did well against two very good players. Once they sort of caught the rhythm of the game, they did well defensively and in possession.
And you guys have a stretch of home games now. How important was it to put in a good performance in the first one and kind of build up some momentum?
Yeah, it would have been more important to win it, but it wasn't to be, you know. But we need to continue to be difficult at home, get the results at home, and you know, on the road we'll see what we can do.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you, Mitchell. Final call with questions for Coach before he moves back to the room. All right, Ryan, back to you. It looks like we're good.
All right, one more here, Carlos, and we'll wrap it
One
up.
last question, Steven. How's Core event? We saw him like taking a little bit of a note like at the game. How's he doing?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to the medical team, but he was at the point where we realized he needed to come off, and but I haven't spoken to the medical team. I know Peter has a massive lump on his head, but
yes.
he soldiered on, and then I'll have to find out what the condition is with Santos.
Okay, thanks everyone. Thank you. Questions in the room for Sam here. Anthony, you want to go ahead and start for us?
It's hard enough to notice the ice pack on your ankle, so what happened, man?
No, it's just a precaution, just a little bit of knock at the game, so I'm just trying to recover as much as possible.
So can you walk us through your goal?
Yeah, well, it was across second post, and I think someone missed the first header, so I was just there in good position to score a volley, so that was nice.
Obviously, Morelli's been out for a little bit now. How have you made of your performance filling in the void there?
We try to not think about it too much. Obviously, he's a huge part of our team, but we try to play with the players that we have, and I think we've been doing it pretty well.
And how have you made kind of playing out of position? Last home game we were talking to Steven, and Steven said that you've liked to play a little bit more in the middle, but you've been kind of starting outside a little bit more. How have you made of that kind of adjustment, and what are some of the things that have kind of helped you adapt a little bit to playing a little bit more wide?
Yeah, the coach has been great with the positioning and stuff. He's been helping me a lot, and I like it very well up there. It's different, but I think I've started to pick up positioning and start the kind of the runs that I need to make to be on the ball, and it's been good.
Any more questions for Sam in the room? Okay, Paige, we'll send things over to Zoom if there's any questions for Sam Salter.
I'm not seeing any hands up. Any questions on Zoom for Halifax, please? Ryan, I think we're good here.
All right, any more in the room? I think we're going one last.
That's good. One more. Second kind of home game in a row here. The squad's kind of started out a little slow and then really picked it up as the game's gone on. Is that something where you guys are just trying to feel out the other opposition, or is it something where maybe it's a little bit of a mental block and you kind of grow into the game as the game kind of progresses?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a mental block, but obviously we got scored on the last two games, so I think we've been good to recover from that. But I think obviously ideally we don't concede the first goal and try to score first, so that's something we talk about.
One last congratulations on your goal. My question to you is like Halifax is going to play the next two games at home. One is going to be against Forge, and the next one is for against DFC for the Kent Champ. You're scoring goals. Striker solid 9 meets from the goal. You're pretty much like scoring regularly, feeling the way that we were talking before. How's your confidence about it, and how you feel just like how important for you is just having the atmosphere of playing home, influential game?
Yeah, it's been good. The fans are amazing as always, so it's always great to play the Cornish ground. You have like the next two games at home, like you said, so it's good. Playing in front of the fans, it's the best. So I think we try to move on and get results in the next 2 games.
For the draw, the question is like, what's your take on the second goal? We feel like the referee make like 2 goals, and goals, things happens in the match. I just want to see what's your take on the second goal.
Yeah, I think my heart's still racing with it. Listen, I don't think there was much between the two sides. I think a draw is probably a fair result. I mean, Halifax, I've always known this. We haven't been here since 2019, but I always know, you know, Stephen and his coaching staff put together a great side, and it made it a battle. It was a battle. So we're delighted to take something because road points are important. We're disappointed in the manner we conceded ours, but you know, we scored 2 from set plays, they did. So I think, you know, at the end of the day, we'll take the point and go home. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Long travel from Calgary. What did you make of your performance? First half, you started out pretty strong, and then you kind of teetered away there in the second half, but managed to pull out the equalizer there to grab a point.
Yeah, I haven't seen the stats yet, but from my perspective, we had some nicer possession moments against their press on a very tough pitch. And then second half, you know, they threw things at us and we had to play a little bit more direct, just to skip their press and get us up the pitch. And I thought when we brought Charlie Trafford in and we brought Arvin Peppel, they gave us the physicality to match Halifax, and that led to us getting up the pitch a little bit more.
Yeah, one more. Yeah.
Elliot Simmons today, back at home. Was that a conscious decision to make him a start? Obviously, he started his career with the Wanderers, or was that more of a tactical decision?
Listen, he's been very good for us the last few games. I think when Charlie Trafford got injured against Pacific at home, Simo came in and was a large reason why we were able to keep, you know, a clean sheet. He does a lot of the thankless tasks. He picks up a lot of second ball, keeps you in possession. And I think it was great to him coming on, because probably the Halifax fans have seen a different Elliot Simmons, right? He's a man now, because he was a young boy, but now we haven't been here since 2019. So I'm delighted he was able to play in front of these, because I know he speaks highly of the club.
Anthony, one more.
Yeah. So obviously you lost Fraser Air during the week. How are you finding each diversity that keeps hitting? You've had so many injuries. Like for your plans, how difficult is it to keep making your team sheets and stuff like that? Like, how are you finding it?
Yeah, I mean, it does make it hard. I'm thankful because we have a great coaching staff, and today, you know, Leon Hapgood done a lot of great work on our attacking set plays, and we just have to find different ways to cause a problem. I'm fortunate now, you know, Charlie and Elijah getting back into fitness. You know, next week we have Sergio Camargo, Davey Norman and Joe Mason. We did a lot of good recruitment in the off-season because we wanted at least 2.5 for each position. It'll get stretched, but I'm sure every club will go through those large periods. I think we've got that next man up mentality, and you know, to grind out a point here shows the character we have.
And just follow up, Bevan had a great game. Like, he's just kind of slotted in. So you know, you've lost Novak too. So what do you think of his performance today?
Yeah, I remember Maya Bevan. We played against him. I think he was at the Whitecaps, and I just loved his energy, loved his movement. He's a great competitor. You know, he goes down the sides, he can hold it up into feet, and he attacks the ball with great pace. And I'm delighted for him because he's waited his turn. You know, Joe Mason, he's been quality for us, but you know, Maya's now got 3 goals in 2 games. So you know. That's the good problem we're having. So any injury we have, somebody else is coming in and playing well, and yeah, he's been great.
Cheers, Tommy.
Thank you.
Just to make sure we're recording everything here before we start the Zoom.
Recording in progress.
Part of it here, Paige. If there's any questions from the media for Tommy on Zoom, I'll throw it over to you to facilitate.
Thank you, Ryan. I see some hands up already, so Mitchell, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Tommy. In a match with two sides as defensively solid as the two of you, you know, set pieces were always going to be critical. How important was that, and was that something you worked on midweek?
Yeah, we work on it every week, and like I said, that's where the credit goes. You know, Leon Hapgood does a lot of our attacking set plays, and you know, and movement, and looking at the opposition. And the opposition's change, and sometimes you do have to kind of read and react. But we do spend times, because in this league, in a league of parity, it does come down to it. You know, we won the game against Edmonton on 2 set plays, and now we've come away with a road point. It's massive, because Halifax aren't going to give you a lot, especially at home. So you've got to make them stretch and pay as best as you can.
One of those strategies, it seemed, was just crowding the box and making things really difficult on Oxner to come claim balls. What was the thinking behind that? Obviously, it worked out great on the first one.
Yeah, it did. And look, Halifax are a big side. You know, when you look at Nshala, Santos, Rampersat, Gagnon Laprade, Salter, they're a handful. So you know they're going to be a threat, but you also know they're going to be solid defensively. So you got to move them. And sometimes you use their size against them, and that's what we did on the first one. And then on the second one, we loaded the box and made sure we created the chaos. So yeah, credit to our lads, because you know, we kept going until the 90-odd minute.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Mitchell.
Thanks, Mitchell. Todd, you can go ahead.
You're on mute there, Todd.
That said, the coach, the deliveries from Musi and Escalante today were magnificent. I mean, there wasn't one in the bunch that seemed to be bad.
No, they're good. I mean, they got a wand of left foot, the pair of them, so that's always good to have, especially when you know, again, you're trying to unpick a tight lock in the Halifax defence. Both of them put on great deliveries, and you know, Dan Klomp's always a threat, Karifa Yao, Mason Trafford, and then Charlie and Maya Bevan. You know, it was good. Like I said, I don't think it was the prettiest of games, but on that pitch in these conditions, it doesn't have to be. But there was different ways to play football.
You said it wasn't the prettiest of games. I think it was highly entertaining. I mean, this
is for the neutrals, hey?
Yeah, right. I mean,
yeah. Well, listen, I said from a purist standpoint, I know it wasn't the prettiest game, but it doesn't have to be. I think I say this when I play golf, because I'm not a great golfer. There's no pictures on the scorecard, right? So when you got a circle around your number, you've made a birdie. You forget about the bogeys, and I think this one, I probably think we made par on this hole.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. I don't see any more questions on the virtual end, so Ryan, I'll throw it back to you.
All right, thanks, Tommy. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, send things to Zoom. Yeah, one here.
How did you make of your performance today?
Sorry?
How did you make of the team's performance today?
Well, it wasn't the best performance. Like, we know coming here is a hard game. We gotta respect and understand the conditions here. It's a 6-hour flight, 3-hour time difference, and the pitch is not optimal to play, so we can't really play the game the way we want to play it. But yeah, it was a bit of a scrappy game, but in the end we got away with 1 point. And yeah, when you're down in the 86th minute, 2-1, and you make it 2-2, it's good to get a point.
Yeah, one more.
What did you make of the decision at the end there?
Well, we train on set plays a lot, attacking ones, and it's good that it pays off. Well, I got a good connection with Musi. I know where he want to put the ball and when he wants to put the ball, and well, I thought I made the run for it, and it paid off.
All right, Paige, we'll send things over to Zoom if there's any questions for Dan.
Perfect, thank you, Ryan. I see Todd, your hand up. You can go ahead and start us off.
Hey Dan, Todd Saloff, Calgary Sun, Calgary Herald. What exactly did you see on that ball coming in?
Not much, I can tell you that. I was lucky to hit it with my head/shoulder, and well, first we thought it was cancelled, and but in the end it counted, so everybody was happy.
That's kind of a roller coaster game, don't you think? You guys get up, you get down. They put a whole lot of pressure on you. You guys got some chances. Things aren't going in. They get another one. They're putting pressure on you. You guys come back with a bit of pressure, and then at the end, it just all works out for you. I mean, it's about as nerve-wracking, I think, a game as you can be a part of, can't it? No?
Yeah, it was very nerve-wracking. Yeah, like I said, being down in the 86th minute, 2-1, you need to get a goal. So everybody wants to be a bit optimistic and goes forward a lot. And like I said, it paid off in the end, luckily. But now, yeah, what happened as well is we conceded two set plays, and that's something that can't happen for us.
Thanks, Dan.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Todd. Last call for questions on Zoom here for Dan before we move on. All right, it looks like we're good on our end. Back to you, Brian.
All right, thanks, Dan. Thanks, everyone. We'll have,